major issues decided by the High Court in this term as they close up shop. Everything from 2A rights. Of course, abortion, at least Roe v. Wade, that's gone. And abortion goes back to the states. We got border security issues as well, decided by the High Court. So of all these issues, what will energize voters to the polls this midterm? With Young Americans for Liberty is Sean Themea. What do you think, Sean? Abortion, 2A, border security? I know other polls say it's the economy, stupid. That's all it is. So what do you think, Sean?
Yeah, great to be here, Sergio. I mean, I think the Democrats are hoping and praying that the gun issue and the social issues, the abortion issue, is going to turn their voters out. We're a long way from November, so we'll see. But I think we just got to remind the Republicans, hey, look, this is a gas and groceries election, right?
Yeah.
It costs $100 to fill your tank in some parts of the country. You know, parents trying to feed their kids are getting robbed blind by the price of food in the grocery store. So, you know, don't let this fool us. I mean, they're going to make this about tragedy. They're going to make this about bills that will ultimately hurt more people, like this gun control bill they passed. But at the end of the day, you know, we got to turn out because we're getting robbed.
Do you think it's being properly messaged right now by the so-called conservatives or Republicans right now out on the campaign trail?
Well, I think some are certainly doing better than others. I mean, you know, rhinos like John Cornyn are doing themselves no favors by backing this gun control bill. And quite frankly, that's not my problem. You remember George Carlin, the late great comedian, he used to say, when the word bipartisan is said by D.C., some larger than usual deception is going on. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, this bill that passed, this gun control bill, does nothing to protect the Second Amendment. In fact, it puts it in jeopardy. So those Republicans will have to lay in the beds that they made for themselves. But the Republicans that are worth their salt, yeah, I see them staying on message.
Sean Themea with Young Americans for Liberty. What else should conservatives or, some of these Republicans, what else should they be doing right now to secure the victory that is at hand and not clutch defeat from the jaws of victory?
I think they just got to be communicating clearly about Biden's failures and about the Democrats' failure to do anything to help the American people. I mean, look, the price of food's going up 30-40%. Again, it costs $100 to fill up a tank of gas. We've seen really nothing except for a president who, some might constitute this entire presidency, the people propping him up, as a case of elder abuse. I mean, how is America supposed to lead when you've got that, in the White House and you've got Pelosi as the speaker? I mean, it really is that simple. As a wise man once said, it's the economy, stupid, and there's no better time to be talking about that than right now.
In the number I reached out to, I know your area code's up there somewhere northeast, New Hampshire somewhere. Is that where you are, Sean? Way up there, up northeast right now?
Born and raised in New Hampshire, but I'm calling you from the blueberry and the tomato soup, if you will, of Austin, Texas.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the issue of immigration has been thrust into, front and center as far as headlines. I don't know if it makes any difference whatsoever on the policy side, the political side. I don't hear, nor do I expect any movement whatsoever on trying to fix the broken immigration policies in the country. At least piecemeal, even worse, piecemeal. Try to fix the broken asylum system that's being gamed and abused by cartels and throwing all these people over here that die in tractor trailers.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this issue really only seems to come up by the politicians when it's important for them to help gain votes. But the inaction is incredible. I mean, Greg Abbott, we only see him talking about the immigration issue during his primary, right? Since then, I mean, all he's really done is point the finger at Biden and say, oh, this is Biden's fault, all these terrible things are happening. I mean, Governor, with the stroke of a pen, I mean, you could do a lot. But unfortunately, our governor would rather just sit there and kind of point the finger instead of taking any viable action because he doesn't want to lose those.
You are referring to declaring. You're referring to declaring an invasion, right, Sean? I've talked about this before, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff going on down there. I mean, you're right on the border, so you see it. But unfortunately, I mean, there's just a lack of action. It's a political football, and I'd like to see real leaders in there actually taking a stand and doing something to stop this madness.
Well, there's lots of action. There's parks and wildlife trucks all over the place, DPS trucks all over the place. Lord knows how many billions of dollars that the state of Texas has spent. We got border security all over the place. From Texas, it doesn't make a dent whatsoever. We got thousands of illegals crossing daily. Going back to what you were implying, I think that's what you're implying. Declare the darn invasion now. Yes, I know there will be court fights. I want that fight. I want to fight the federal government because Biden, he abandoned the border, and nothing's being done. No border laws being enforced. Yeah, declare the invasion. Let's have that fight. That's what I want. That's what I think I hear from you, Sean.
Sure. I know that there's a lot going on down there that, people are sending in the bare minimum. And then we could be doing a lot more. We could be taking this to the courts, and we could actually be having some peace right at the border instead of this insanity. So I'm with you.
Be safe, Sean. Thank you. With the Young Americans for Liberty, Sean Themea.